The champ was underestimating. You know the rules. Rule number 1 in life is, hold up, I'm gonna give you 2 seconds. Let's see if you remember. What's rule number 1 in life? Never ever ever. Never ever ever. Never ever 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 fucks with baby mamas. That's rule number 1. And rule number 2 is never ever ever underestimate. And that's exactly what the undefeated, unified champion of the world, Alexander Usyk, was underestimating. He said, training? Huh? I could just hang out with Anthony Joshua. I could just grow a DadBod, eat 2 pizzas. Don't worry about that. That's just a payday. He thought it was a stay busy. He thought it was a... Who calling me? Don't call me this early, son. Never, ever, ever. This is why you gotta shut this bitch off, son. Oh no, that's my snooze. But I'm already out. You know what I mean? Way ahead of schedule. Yo, I don't even know how to use this shit. But let's get back to as a matter of fact, we need to turn this off, son. We don't got time for this. This shit is a nuisance. This shit a nuisance, son. I don't even like these shits, really. It's only for the GPS and the music. Let's get back to the boxing. He underestimated son. That is the worst shape I ever seen Usyk. His body looked like a dad. He had DadBod. He didn't look all that sharp. You know what I mean? He wasn't pivoting too much. He wasn't putting out that jab too much. Now we can't take nothing away from RicoVerhoeven. He came in there with the right loaded PEDs. Come on. You know anybody who trains with a Fury. He came in there loaded on PED. Did you see this man's body? He looked like John Cena. I'm like, is that John Cena? Who is it? He sure as hell ain't look like. I never seen a kickboxer like that. He looked like something straight out of like WWE. He looked like Kane. He looked like Undertaker. He looked like he was on mad PEDs, and he had the right game plan. You know what I mean? That herky-jerky was giving him all types of problems. But let's get back to Usyk, because that's really what this is about. He underestimated son. He thought it was a payday. He thought it was a pie. But Rico Suave said, not tonight. No. I got a game plan for you, son. And let me tell you something. Rico Suave is a pretty tall fighter, about 6'6". He look about the size of Anthony Joshua, or even possibly bigger. You know what I mean? But he had this crouch style. You know what I mean? He was never fighting tall. He was fighting covered up. And when you watch the fight, you could tell that Usyk didn't have the same speed, didn't have the same accuracy. He wasn't moving around as much. He wasn't throwing out the jab as much. And possibly it's because he underestimated, and physically, you know what I mean, was not like at 100%. But early on, the one thing that you can't understand and see early on is that, boom, he started dropping that uppercut on him. And I'm like, I never really seen, Usyk don't really use the uppercut too much. But he started using the uppercut by like the second or third round early, because this guy had this crouching tiger type of style. This, you know what I mean? And he was covered up. And Usyk is used to punching up on fighters, but this guy, even though he was tall, because of his, his pose, his crouching tiger type of style, he was like at the same level or lower than Usyk. And he could tell that the jab and the hooks were going to go over his head or just, skim him and not really catch him. So you start seeing Usyk throwing a lot of uppercuts. And that's exactly how he got him out of there, you know what I mean? While Usyk thought it was a stay busy. He thought it was a payday. He thought it was a pie. Now, let me say something about that, right? Because we, the fans, the reporters, we could talk about stay busy. Ah, that's a stay busy. Oh, that's a 90-10 fight. Oh, he just won a payday. Oh, no, that's just a pie. You know what I mean? We can say that because we're not in there. We're just, speculators. We're just the fans. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, there is no such thing as a pie, a payday, or a stay busy. You might stay busy laying on your back. You know what I'm saying? Knock the fuck out. It don't matter who you put in there. Obviously. You know what I mean? A 1-0 kickboxer. Or it could be a fat boy from California like Andy Ruiz. It don't matter who you throw in there. It could be a guy that you're bringing up. You know what I mean? Thinking it was a stay busy like Lamont the Legend Roach. Nobody was picking Lamont the Legend Roach to whoop on Gervonta. Put him straight into retirement and a bid. About to do 2 years in jail. Nobody ever predicted that. Now, you know what I mean? I said he had a chance because I know my boxing. You know what I mean? And I'm always going to pick against Gervonta. You know what I mean? But nobody thought that Andy Ruiz was about to whoop on Anthony Joshua. What was that, like the 3rd round? The 4th round? Early. That shit was too early. Caught him off guard. What about Otto Wallin? We remember that one. Busted up Tyson Fury. We remember that one. What about well, Joseph Parker, we know Joseph Parker is, top level, you know what I'm saying? But Zhilei Zhang with the 4 chicken wang, nobody was expecting Zhilei Zhang to stop Deontay Wilder in what was that? The 7th round? The 8th round? These are not even fights that are going deep. You know what I'm saying? So, we the speculators, we the fans, we, the trolls, we can talk about stay busies and paydays and, pies. We can talk about pies. You know what I mean? But in reality, there's no such thing. Even if it's like a Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley, you know what I'm saying? Or Jake Paul versus, any type of UFC fighter. It don't really matter who it is, really. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how that guy trained. You don't know his skill set. You don't know. He might be on PEDs. He might have a hookup with Peter Fury or John Fury. John Fury usually has the better PEDs, by the way. He has the elite level super PEDs. Peter Fury got the lesser level PEDs. You know what I'm saying? But the Brits. You know all the Brits are loaded on PEDs. But it don't really matter who you throw in there. You better never underestimate. That's what you better never ever do. Hashtag no lie. But let me tell you about the future. Now that we got that out the way, I'm gonna continue to say pies. I'm gonna continue to say, stay busies and pies, and because you gotta have fun with it, Boxing fans are like a whole other level of trolling. Boxing fans are like have the least mercy of any sports fans. Boxing fans are like the most bougie, the most, picky, the most. Boxing fans are not like football fans or basketball fans. Boxing fans are like, they also got more money also because boxing is expensive. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna see broke niggas following boxing. You know what I mean? Unless it's like Baltimore, Chicago niggas. You know what I mean? They're not even boxing fans. Those are like Gervonta fans. The only boxing fans that are broke, you know what I mean, and follow boxing religiously are Gervonta fans. But they really just follow Gervonta. You know what I mean? But the majority of boxing fans, the other like 95% of boxing fans, got money. You know what I'm saying? They're picky. They're like, boxing fans are like a different type of people. You know what I mean? But I wanted to really, really make that clear, that there is no such thing as a stay busy. We're going to continue to talk about it and say those things. You know what I mean? But in reality, there's no such thing as a stay busy. You might catch an Otto Wallin, a RicoVerhoeven, you know what I mean, an Andy Ruiz ass whooping if you're not ready. You need to be at 100%. And that goes for all boxers. You need to be at 100% no matter who you're facing. Remember Shakur Stevenson against that Dominican that had him running all over the place? You know what I mean? Because this is not golf. This is not baseball. This is not football or NBA. This is blow punches to your mouth. You know what I mean? And 2 punches, 1 punch to your face can knock you out. So I want to really, really make that clear. There is no such thing as stay busy. Not at all. But let's get back to the actual fight. The Usyk versus Verhoeven. Shout out to Rico Suave. He came in there with the right game plan. He made it a fun fight. You know what I mean? I did not think it was an early stoppage. You're the early stoppage. No. We're going to give him his due credit. You know what I mean? He had a good game plan. You know what I mean? He took a whole load of PEDs. Now, we talk about that as well. I don't think he did PEDs, but you know what I mean? Nothing is ever underestimated with the Furies. But he was in perfect shape. Dude looked like Frankenstein. You know what I mean? He stuck to that game plan. I don't really think that. I never seen him fight as a kickboxer. But I never seen a kickboxer fight like that. So I think there's a whole new game plan that he implemented with Peter Fury, who's a great trainer, you know what I mean? Even though he got mad PEDs. But, and he implemented that game plan. He was in great shape, you know what I'm saying? Every time Usyk was trying to drop a combination on him, he would grab up on him and smother him, you know what I'm saying? So we got to give Rico Suave a whole lot of credit. You know what I mean? He did his thing. He did his thing. But we cannot forget. We cannot forget. And we cannot undervalue that even though the champ had the DadBod, even though, what do you want from me? Everywhere you go in New Jersey, somebody's pulling up right behind you. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. There's somebody pulling up behind you, you know what I mean, with tints, and you don't know who these people are. People now put tints in the front of the vehicle. Shit crazy. You know, and we don't trust none of these niggas. Hashtag no lie. But who the fuck is this? Fucking crackheads. It's like Jersey's like that. It'll be like 7 o'clock in the morning. And it could be even a quiet neighborhood. It could be anywhere really. And out of nowhere, you have a crackhead asking you for like 2 quarters. Shit crazy, son. But yeah, let me tell you something. And now the dude is like backing up into the driveway, looking into the thing, playing on the phone. This dude back there is like in a brand new Mercedes-Benz, don't know how to drive, you know what I mean? He pulled up right behind me. It was like real close. And now he's leaving. You know what I mean? Just jabronis everywhere, let me tell you. But as I was saying, we cannot undervalue the fact that Alexander Usyk, even though he was not at 100%, he was at like 70% with the DadBod. You know what I mean? Didn't even properly train. Plus his family's in a bunker. His mentals is all messed up. How you gonna be, you know what I mean? It's the combination. Now, he thought it was a StayBusy, a Payday, a pie. He didn't train white. Just a couple weeks ago, I saw him training with Anthony Joshua. You're not focused, you know what I mean, buddy now with Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And as soon as I saw his body, I was like, oh, this is not looking right, son. But even still, even though he was at 70%, you know what I mean? When he realized that this fight might be close, because the announcers, the commentary were giving them, they're like, we got Verhoeven up like 8-1. They didn't even give Usyk the champ. It's not like Verhoeven wobbled him or dropped him like Daniel Dubois did, or, you know what I mean, was walking him down like every single round. Verhoeven was nicking rounds, no doubt. I gave Verhoeven maybe 4 of the first 6 rounds, no doubt. But not all 6. These people, I mean, were just like, you know what I mean, blowing it out of proportion. But when Usyk realized, like in the 7th round or so, possibly the 6th, 7th, or 8th round, right? When he realized that this fight might be close, hold up. This cannot go. It's time to turn it up. And let me tell you, there is no fighter in this era, because we can't go back 200, 300 years ago, but in this era, there is no fighter that has, 1, the endurance of Alexander Usyk, and 2, the ability to just turn it up on you in like the championship rounds. When he realized or started even thinking that this might be close, you know what I mean? He said, time to turn it up, Ukrainian power. He turned up the Ukrainian switch, click, click. He said, for my Ukraine, Slava Ukrainia. He turned the Slava Ukrainian button in the back, click, click. You know what I mean? And turned into Saiyan, Super Saiyan Usyk. And the thing is that we've seen him do this before, because he's been down on the cards, or, you know what I mean, the fight has been close against Daniel Dubois, you know what I mean, against Tyson Fury. He's done this. Well, he was dominating Tyson Fury like throughout the whole fight. But, you know what I mean, you know, even if you think it was close. But the thing is, that the point is that we have seen Usyk do this against Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Chisora. He did this as well. You know what I mean? Well, the fight is kind of close. You know what I mean? And out of nowhere, in the championship rounds, he turns it up and just starts walking you down. Blow, blow, blow. Fighting in the pocket. Dropping combinations from all type of angles. And he just gets you out of there. You know what I'm saying? Or at least drops you. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen him do this over and over and over again against elite competition in the heavyweight division. Because some might say, well, Terence Crawford has also an aggressive type of style that he could turn it up on you as well. But, you know what I mean? Terence Crawford did that once against Errol Spence. Credit to him. He did that. You know what I mean? But the other times that he did that to like Eureka's Gamboas and Ndangos and, you know what I mean, Postals and Russians you never heard of, even though there's no such thing as a StayBusy. There's no such thing as a pie. But Usyk has done that repeatedly against elite competition in the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? And when he turned it up on Rico Suave, when you rewatch the fight, and he hurt him in the 9th, right? He went back to the corner with a lump on his eye, right? Like it was like a welt. Blow, like a bling. And he still looked okay, but he had his face looked completely different in one round. And 8th round, his face is clean, and in the 9th round, his face is like lumped up. You know what I'm saying? And then in the 10th round, Usyk came out and started wailing, rocking this dude, walking him down. You know what I mean? He's like, no, you're not getting, there's no more boxing. Ain't no more boxing. I need to get back to the bunker in Ukraine. I got things to do, man. You know what I mean? You are not about to have no type of close fight against the champ. And in the 10th round, he started just walking him down. You know what I mean? Ukrainian style. And just beating down on RicoVerhoeven. And when you rewatch the fight, the combination that he cracked RicoVerhoeven with, he cracks him with like a left hook, bah! And then he cracks him with a right uppercut, boom! You know that uppercut that he was working on throughout the entire fight? He caught him, his whole head went like, blah! And when the dude dropped, and when he got up, he's like all types of wobbly, you know what I mean? All types of like stumbling, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know why the referee gave him extra time. The coach or like the trainer, I know it wasn't a doctor, you know what I mean? Because the doctors have a suit on. It was a dude in a tracksuit. A dude in a tracksuit comes up to the ring to look at the fight. You know what I mean? You don't get like a count and then get, you know what I mean, to, you know, have a conference with your coach. And then he dropped the thing. This dude got like a Tyson Fury 14 count in the corner. You know what I mean? Go rewatch the fight. The referee can't let you get another, you know what I mean, 3 to 5 seconds, 6 seconds, you know what I mean, for your coach to look at you to see if you're okay. That's the doctor. The only person that could, you know what I mean, get extra time is when the doctor comes on the apron. You know what I mean? Not the coach. The coach is not even supposed to get on the apron. You know what I mean? Well, at all. So then he drops the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And then the guy puts it back on. And then the referee is still looking at the coach. The coach is looking at the referee. And then he gets back to fighting. This guy got like a long ass freaking count. He could have stopped it the first time he dropped him. Because when he got up and he walked towards the referee, he's like, he was out of it. You know what I'm saying? The referee could have stopped it right there and then. So I'm not trying to hear none of this early stoppage nonsense, bro. You got to rewatch the fight. You know what I'm saying? But he gave him another opportunity. He gave him an extra 14, 15 count. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A conference call with his coach in the corner. You know what I mean? He gave him a second opportunity. And then Usyk just jumps on him. Blow, 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 blow. Caught him with like 6 punches in like 3 seconds. His head is like going all over the place. He is not throwing back. He is not covering up. He is not, you know what I mean? He is not moving around. He is just getting, his head is blah, 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 blah. His head looked like one of them, you know what I mean? Like the punching, like one of these, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out. I got the old glove. This is the Rocky Marciano. Blow, blow. So we gotta give credit to Alexander Usyk. No fighter in this era has that endurance. You know what I mean? You cannot switch off. You cannot, you know what I mean, take a round off. You cannot, you know what I mean, take a break in there. And the ability to just turn it up in the championship rounds and walk you down and just beat your ass and get you out of there. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? You know those people that say that Usyk don't got no power? I never said that. I never said that. I said, before the Tyson Fury fight, that's one of the points that I kept making. I'm like, what? You don't got no power? Watch what he does to this big old ogre. And he got enough power. He got plenty of knockouts. He got enough power. Maybe it might not be like blah like Deontay Power or like AJ Power, you know what I'm saying? But he got enough power. I mean, look at Anthony Joshua. All types of wobbled. Look at Tyson Fury. I mean, Usyk got plenty of knockout power. But it's that ability to just turn it up. even with a DadBod, at like 70%, boy, AgitKabayel, you better pray to Allah 5 times. No, you better pray to Allah 10 times. You better make sure you get at least 10 prayers in every single day. Because, let me tell you, this DadBod, Usyk, this is never going to happen ever again. Ever. Usyk is going back to Ukraine, about to double up and buy a super duper bunker. You know what I mean? And this, he gonna stop hanging out with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is not your homie too. You know what I mean? You've been training Anthony Joshua. I'm like, my nigga, you need to get focused. You're older. You need to get even more focused on your training. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. This is discrepancy is never ever gonna happen again. And if AgitKabayel is next, he getting stopped. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you that right now. He getting stopped. And you know what I mean? The most likely fight is gonna be the RicoVerhoeven Part 2, the rematch, because it's a built-in storyline there, and this is a business. You know what I'm saying? And the rematch is not gonna be close. It is not gonna look like that. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Usyk is about to get back in shape. And you know Usyk, there's none of that marination and you know what I mean, ducking, milking the cow. There's none of that with Usyk. You know what I mean? There's none of that. It's whoever's next. Whoever at Turkey, you're the guy paying, no doubt. You know what I mean? Whoever you pick, throw him in there. You want Deontay Wilder, you want AgitKabayel, you want Verhoeven Part 2, the rematch. You know what I mean? We ain't picky over here. But it's most likely gonna be the Verhoeven rematch because it makes sense. You know what I mean? Boxing is a business. Boxing needs storylines. You know what I mean? A new location in the Netherlands. They haven't put a fight up in the Netherlands before. You know what I'm saying? And you know the whole, you know what I mean? The whole Riyadh season thing is about different locations, new locations that have never been done before, right? So, I would say about 80% chance that the next fight is the RicoVerhoeven Part 2, the rematch, right? And he should stay in boxing. There ain't no shame in that. Even if he loses, which he is, he's about to get stopped. Let me tell you, he's about to get stopped even early. Because Usyk is about to go right back to the drawing board, get in super duper shape. You're not getting no Pizza Hut, you know, no Domino's Pizza type of, you know what I mean, DadBod Usyk, no more. You know what I'm saying? He's about to get a haircut, about to shave, you know. You know when Usyk shaves the head, it's serious business. You know what I mean? You can tell that when Usyk got like longer hair, you know what I mean? It's like he's like in dad mode, you know what I'm saying? But he's going right back to boxer mode. And let me tell you, Verhoeven is about to get stopped like mid-rounds. And then we're going straight into AgitKabayel. And I think it's going to be a wrap after that. I think he's going to fight Verhoeven. And then AgitKabayel, like, you know what I mean? Towards like, he's going to take at least like 6 months off now, right? And then, I think after that he's gonna retire. He might not fight Deontay Wilder, and it works out for Deontay Wilder as well because this is a major risk for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder should just go get a StayBusy, get another. There's no such thing as a StayBusy, but you know, one of those type of guys like a Joy Joyce or something like that, right? That would be a good fight for Deontay Wilder, or like a Dave Allen. He needs like a name, but like at a lower level, right? And because he don't really need the risk of Usyk right now. It's a big fight, but for Deontay Wilder, he could just make up that money, you know what I mean, when he gets the Anthony Joshua fight, whenever he does, even if it is in 2027. For now, he needs to get a StayBusy, you know what I mean, and not lose. That's what he needs to do. That is his major goal, is to not lose another fight. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can find massive pies for like $1.5 million, or, you know what I mean? Even if you're fighting in like Tuscaloosa, Alabama, maybe you should make a fight in the United States. You know, like a low-key type of fight, something like that. You know what I mean? But I think that Usyk is going to fight the rematch with, you know, RicoVerhoeven, and then He's gonna fight the AgitKabayel, you know, the mandatory, and then he's gonna retire. He's already like 38. By that time, he'll be like 39. You know what I mean? And he gotta take care of his family. You know, he got all that stuff in Ukraine, and you know what I mean. That's how I see his career going. I think he's gonna retire undefeated. But no more underestimating pies. Please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, share. Thank you.